Hey everyone, I want to share something that I found very useful when door dashing. So there's a number of apps that allow the DoorDash driver to record miles driven and other features that allow you to help track what you owe in taxes. The app that I found is called Stride. So I have my phone connected here to the Mac. I'm going to show you by opening the app on my phone what Stride does. So Stride has a lot of features. And the first thing I'm going to go into is when door dashing or when driving Uber, whatever the self-employed business is, how do I maintain a log? How do I maintain the data log of what I've driven so I can get the right tax deduction on mileage? And so give me a second. So I go here to the taxes section. And so this is when I started using Stride in January this year in 2021. I didn't know about it beforehand when I started door dashing last year. And as a result, I didn't track my miles driven. And I drove a lot of miles during the summer and fall, part of the fall of 2020. And as a result, even though I was making money, I really didn't make money after taxes were done. I was actually at a loss because I didn't do my part as a self-employed worker, self-employed person, business owner, in tracking my own taxes. And I could have gotten deductions that would have otherwise saved me money. So from this year, this is what I have, and I have my deductions calculated in my income, the amount that I made in profit, the estimated taxes that I owe. And so if I click on the question mark, well, what's this question mark saying? So it says in Stride, this is an estimate. We assume a 30% tax rate on your income after subtracting deductions, accounting for federal income taxes and self-employment taxes. So now how do I track? I go and let's say, for example, I finish a drive or I started a drive, excuse me. So I would go here, hit the plus button, start a drive. And so there you go. I didn't turn on my GPS. Give me 1 second. Okay, so GPS is turned on and it says that I'm here. I'm at home right now. And something important to bring up is when doing your driving, it's important to know when to start logging. So if you, as a self-employed small business owner, you have you qualify for what's called the home office expense, you can start your drive from home. So you can hit the start button from home. Now, for people who don't have the home office deduction like me, I have to wait. I have to drive until I get to my destination where I do my first pickup. So my first order, I'm going to go, let's say, to Chili's that's like down the street, like half a block from here. That's when I start my log. But if I don't do Chili's, and I'm going to, let's say, for example, like driving over a bridge in Narragansett from Middletown to Narragansett, it's like about 20-minute drive, and I want to do dash in that area. All those miles, the bridge that I've driven over, which is about 2 miles itself, it's a pretty long bridge. I don't get the mileage for that because I don't have a home office expense deduction. I don't qualify for that. So I'll come out with another video on what that is and how do you know when you qualify for it. But let's go ahead and continue. So I go ahead, let's say I did my driving and I said, okay, I'm done driving. Obviously, I didn't do any driving, being here. But what I would do is I would go to the taxes section. So I go to the bottom and I would hit taxes. I would go to view all transactions. So today I'm getting the mileage, obviously, but what you can do, and this has happened to me several times, is I'll forget because I'm not starting right from home. I'm starting from when I do my first order. I'll forget to start the mileage. So if I can recall, or if I can just track the mileage and say, okay, hey, I didn't, do my mile from when I started from Chili's going out to wherever, let's say, for example, it was like 2 miles. I can go and edit that and just say my tax deduction, okay, this and that, distance. Oh, hold on. Edit. Deductions. I'll hit the plus sign add an expense. So that was a mistake on my part. So I'll go add an expense, add miles manually. Distance required in miles. Let's say I did 3 miles, for example. And I type in the reason. I forgot to log from first pickup point. So I go ahead and I put that in there at a period, hit save. Now it shows my mileage. So I have 168 in mileage that I earned today, supposedly. Now I can go ahead and I can just take this off. Now I go to edit. I go to 0. In order for your expense report to be valid, the IRS requires that your expenses are logged by day. The first time going through this. I want to delete miles, okay? So I thought I could edit it and redo, because there are times where you make a mistake. I made a mistake putting in the amount of money that I earned. I want to edit that. So I'm able to edit it while within that section of the earned income. But I'm learning as I go here. Stride's pretty good at keeping track, and these are the features. I never had to really delete miles, which is why I'm kind of making the mistakes here as I go. But let's go ahead and do it again. I go ahead, I go to add expense, add miles manually. Miles required 3. I go ahead. I forgot. Hit save. Now I go ahead to my taxes section. It's only like about $1 or so, $1.68 difference from what my screen showed earlier with all this, with the deductions and the estimated taxes have changed. And so 515.10 is what we have estimated taxes. Let's go ahead and make that change. I'm going to go ahead and delete the miles that I put in. So I'm going to hit edit, delete miles, delete. Something went wrong on our end. Please try again in a minute, Bauer. I don't know what went wrong here. Delete. Yeah, it's not allowing me to delete. So not exactly sure. I'll figure it out later on today. So if I want to go ahead and put in the income, I go here, go add income, and then it's going to ask how much was your gross income last week from August 2nd to August 8th. No, only include income from 1099 jobs. And so if I DoorDash today, I'll go ahead and put in the income required. And let's say I've made $1. I hit next. Okay, so gross income, deductions, didn't get anything, estimated taxes, 30 cents. And then Stride tip, we recommend setting aside 30 cents aside in a separate savings account you only use for taxes. That way you won't have to fork out a large sum during tax season. Okay, hit awesome. Okay, now I want to go ahead and take that off. So view all transactions. I go to income. So I go here. So then I go to edit. I want to go to put in 0. Next. So edit. I'm used to editing, so I'm not used to having to, try to delete. So now I went down to 0. So that's what I wanted, because obviously I didn't make any money. So the next thing I want to talk about is quarterly taxes. So there's a section that says here, do you owe quarterly taxes? Find out more. And so really, the good thing about Stride is this will track this all for you. And when it comes, tax season, it'll generate a report for all the quarters you DoorDash and put in your income, and it, reports all the deductions you qualify for, as long as you're doing this in an honest and ethical manner. So these are the quarterly and yearly tax filing tips. And it says here, while Stride doesn't offer tax preparation services, we like to at least get you pointed in the right direction. wondering if you owe quarterly taxes. Here are the general rules. Do I owe quarterly taxes? And so if you have this app, you can go ahead and find out if you owe, if you're gonna, do the quarterly taxes or not. And Stride's pretty good with, having a setup for you to identify whether or not you're gonna owe. If you have a W-2 job, you're a full-time employee. I mean, it could be taken out of your withholding when it comes tax season, because you have another source where some income is being withheld for taxes, and it could be applied towards door dashing. Depends on your situation is what I'm getting at. So by clicking on these links and going through, if you have Stride, you find out if you owe quarterly taxes or not. So that's good. And the important thing is if you're going to owe quarterly taxes, the more important part is doing the reporting. So there's information on that, and you'll figure out, what form you have to fill out and that kind of information. So, yeah, so Stride is very good at setting up the person, the user, for success, and tracking their information. Do they report quarterly taxes, how they do it, when do they do it. Another section on here is benefits, and so I haven't used this so much, but there's a lot of incentives with Stride. So there's health insurance program, dental insurance, vision insurance, life insurance, accident insurance, disability insurance, business insurance, and you have some things here that they offer. I haven't used it, so I can't really speak to it, but there's a lot of incentives that are offered, and I get a lot of email notifications. And so Stride's a very good program, in my opinion, for being able to provide and helping the person, small business owners, self-employed, help become successful in tracking their health insurance through programs, their taxes, what they owe, how they're going to file, and just learning how to use like this tool. So very user-friendly. I recommend it. I use it for door dashing, and I'm sure as you're self-employed, if you're doing Uber Eats or Lyft, you can track your mileage using this app. I hope this really helps, and this is good information for you. Check your options to see what's out there. Check what's right for you. Stride here is a good option. I recommend it, but do your due diligence and find out what works best for you. So I hope this really helps. You guys enjoy the rest of your day and keep working.